Elon has entered your terminal. Great news for productivity. Potentially less great news for the .m file you committed in 2024. XAI has released Grok Build, a full-screen coding agent powered by Grok 4.5. It can read your repo, edit files, run commands, search the web, spawn subagents, load MCP servers, and install plugins. Because apparently, even the command line needs an app store. And now the agent harness is open source. The model is not. Let's see what actually shipped. Number 25 to 105. Model versus agent. S03, S04. First, Grok Build and Grok 4.5 are not the same thing. Grok 4.5 is the model. 500,000 tokens of context, text and image input, reasoning, function calls, and structured output. Grok Build is the harness around it. The terminal interface, context assembly, permissions, tool execution, diffs, sessions, plugins, work trees, and the loop that repeatedly asks the model what to do next. Think brain versus robot body, except the body is written almost entirely in Rust and has permission to run npm install, so maybe keep one hand near Control-C. 105 to 140. Installation, S05, S06. Installation is one command. On Windows PowerShell, run irm https://x.ai/cli/install.ps 1 pipe iex. On macOS, Linux, or Git Bash, use the curl installer. Then enter a project and run Grok. The first launch opens a browser for authentication. For servers and CI, you can use an XAI_API_key instead. Before unleashing it, run Grok inspect. That shows every instruction file, plugin, skill, hook, MCP server, and permission rule Grok discovered. This is the least exciting screen in the demo, and possibly the one that saves your production database. 140 to 315, the practical coding demo. S07, S08. I prepared a tiny storefront with 3 problems. The cart total is wrong. The mobile layout escapes the viewport, and the regression suite is aggressively red. Instead of asking Grok to vibe code it better, switch to plan mode and give it constraints. Audit this storefront. Fix the failing tests, the cart total bug, and the mobile layout. Preserve the public API. Add 1 regression test per bug and verify the build. S09. Plan mode makes Grok inspect first and propose a visible sequence before it edits normal project files. You can approve the plan, rewrite it, or comment on individual steps. This is useful when you want an agent, not an intern speed running a rewrite. S10, S11. After approval, Grok searches the repo, opens the relevant components, edits the implementation, adds tests, and runs the project commands. Each file change appears as a diff, and the default permission mode asks before tool calls. The important part is not whether the model can generate a React component. Every frontier model can generate a React component. The important part is whether it can preserve constraints, navigate an unfamiliar repo, recover from a failed command, and leave the test suite greener than it found it. Here, the total now uses numeric values. The layout collapses cleanly at mobile width, and the regression tests pass. 1 prompt, several tool calls, 0 ceremonial copying between a chatbox and VS Code. For larger jobs, Grok Build can delegate parallel work to subagents, including agents in separate Git worktrees. Ask 3 agents to review accessibility, performance, and security. Then open /tasks or the agent dashboard to watch them work without 3 terminals playing musical chairs with the same branch. The TUI also supports sessions, forks, rewinds, context compaction, model switching, reasoning effort, background loops, queued prompts, side questions, and even image or video generation commands when those features are available. There are 3 modes you will actually care about: normal, plan, and always approve. Shift-tab cycles between them. Normal asks, plan things first. Always approve removes the speed bumps and turns every model hallucination into an executable business decision. Use that last one with explicit deny rules, or on a disposable repo. Grok Build is also usable without the full-screen interface. Run grok-p with a prompt for a one-shot task. Then choose plain text, JSON, or streaming JSON output. That makes it usable in scripts, bots, code review jobs, and CI pipelines. For deeper integration, Grok Agent.stdio exposes the agent through ACP, the Agent Client Protocol, over JSON RPC. In other words, an editor can use Grok as an embedded agent without screen scraping the terminal like it is 1998. It also supports custom models through config.toml. You can keep the Grok Build interface and point the harness at another compatible endpoint, or compile the open source code and use local inference. The extension story is unusually broad. Skills package reusable instructions and scripts. Hooks run before or after tool and session events. Plugins can bundle skills, agents, hooks, MCP servers, and language servers. MCP connects external tools like Linear or a file system server. And Grok Build reads Agents.md, Claude code instruction files, Claude marketplaces, plugins, skills, agents, hooks, and MCP configuration. It also understands cursor MCP files. That means migration can be closer to run Grok in the repo than rebuild your entire agent religion from scratch. Compatibility is not perfect proof of identical behavior, but it is a very pragmatic feature. The default model is Grok 4.5, trained alongside Cursor and aimed at coding, agentic tasks, and technical knowledge work. XAI says it serves at about 80 tokens per second. Its launch results put it at 83.3% on Terminal Bench 2.1, 64.7% on SW Bench Pro, and 29% on SW Marathon. Those are XAI's reported numbers, and it is not number one on every chart, which is a refreshing way for a benchmark slide to accidentally resemble reality. The direct API is currently $2 per million input tokens, 50 cents per million cached input tokens, and $6 per million output tokens. Requests above 200,000 context tokens use higher context pricing, so 500,000 context is a capability, not a coupon. On July 15th, XAI published the Grok Build harness under Apache 2.0 for its first-party code. The repo includes the agent loop, terminal UI, local tools, workspace, and checkpoint logic, plus the extension system. It is a periodic sync from XAI's internal monorepo, and external contributions are not currently accepted. What you do not get is Grok 4.5's model weights. This is an open-source robot body with a closed-source cloud brain by default. But because the harness supports custom endpoints, you can inspect, modify, compile, and point it at local inference. That is meaningfully more open than a mystery binary, even if it is not an open model release. Now the awkward part. Security researchers observed Grok Build version 0.2.93 uploading full Git bundles, including repository history, to XAI-controlled storage, even when the visible Improve the Model option was disabled. Later tests found the upload path disabled by a server-side flag, and XAI said previously uploaded customer data would be deleted. The current public source improves auditability, and XAI's documentation says prompts and selected file content are sent over TLS for inference while tool execution happens locally. Zero data retention is a team or enterprise setting, not magic dust sprinkled over every account. So update the CLI, inspect the source and settings, keep secrets out of repositories, use the default ask mode, add narrow allow and deny rules, and do not test a brand new CLI.